Happy Monday, December 22, 2025, Christmas Eve. Holy cow. Welcome to a live stream on a very unusual Monday afternoon. We wanted to get this in, although we know you're really busy with holiday stuff, but right around the holidays, right after the holidays, is the Florida RV SuperShow, the largest RV show in America. We've got a special guest today. We've got Nick from Sunshine State RVs. Nick, say hello to the folks.
How we doing, Scott? Good to see you and talk to you. It's been a little while.
It has. And it looks like you're in a conference room with whiteboard walls. What are you actually sitting in?
I'm sitting in a Storyteller Hilt right now. This is the GXV Storyteller Hilt. It's a pretty magnificent piece of machinery. I think you camped in one this last year, didn't you?
I did, early in the year. And it was truly a piece of engineering and off-road capabilities that I really don't need at a harvest host myself. But if you want to go off grid, it's the one. We just want to, thank you for taking time out. I know you guys have been super busy. Everybody's cramming before the Christmas and the New Year's. So just look at that. Is this Saint Nick? What is this?
Saint Nick. Yes, I love it. You did say Christmas Eve. It's actually Christmas Eve. There's 22nd, 23rd, 24th.
Oh, you're right.
So 24th is the eve, then the eve, then the eve.
So I got one more day of extra shopping. Is that what you're telling me?
Exactly. And if for anybody that needs a Class B for Christmas, we can make that happen.
Santa Nick will hook you up. There it is right there. Wrap it up. Put a big bow on your, your Travado, your Nuvo, whatever. We're going to talk a lot about all those things today. In fact, this is kind of what our topics are, Nick, that always, I get a lot of questions. I'm sure you do too. We're going to explain why Sunshine is so important in the van space in particular and the quality Class C space. We're talking about the Super Show specific. I think there's some really different things. It's not your typical RV show. Talk about camper vans, shopping tips, how to why the dealer matters. That's really a big thing. It's kind of like getting married, right? And we might bring up price versus value a little bit. I get these questions all the time. Probably you do too. So we just want to kind of jump into that and help some folks out. Does that sound good?
Yeah. So yes, that sounds great. First off, I do want to say thank you, Scott. Many of you probably see this and think that I pay Scott to do this because this is like a promotion to me. I don't actually pay him to do this. He does this as a service to all of you guys that are watching. And it obviously helps me out a lot. So I always carve time. Anytime Scott asks me to do something, he truly does this because he cares about the Class B community. He does not charge me anything. I don't pay him. He doesn't pay me. We do this because we are friends and because he wants to help everybody that has put some trust in him. So Scott, you're pretty cool for doing that, man. You really want to help the community and help people get out camping. And I'm glad that I'm one of the guys that you trust to call when you do have questions about this. So thank you for that.
You're welcome, very much so. And we've been working together a long time. And I truly believe, the van is super critical. It's where the van takes you, those experiences, the people you meet, the emotions and the experience you create. But it's kind of like getting married, buying your RV from a dealer. So if you have a great dealer experience, it's only going to enhance your travel experience. So that's why we really shout out to you all the time. So speaking of that, Nick, let's just kind of jump into what is some of the difference of the Sunshine State RV difference between sort of the big guys, which you'll see a lot of at the RV Super Show. Yeah.
So, I mean, we're small. We are one location. We are small, but we pack a big punch. I mean, we have 140, 150 Class B vans here in Gainesville. Most of them are new. We do have a large selection of used as well. We carry, in my opinion, some of the top quality brands that are in the market, period. We are experts in Class B. That is all we do. Our salespeople, our service guys, our market, everything is centered around the Class B experience. And so if someone is looking for a van, there's a good chance you went to other dealerships, maybe in your area or maybe around the country, and you had a bad experience because they tried to push you away. I know I was out driving to the beach about 6 months ago, and I said, hey, let me stop at this big national chain RV dealership and just see how they treat me. And I pulled up with two of my kids. We got out of the car, and I just said, hey, I want to see some of your vans. He's like, you got two kids. You don't want to see my vans. You want to see this big Class C over here. I was like, no, I'm really interested in vans. I want to see it. He spent 5 minutes trying to convince me why I didn't want to see a van. And I'm like, dude, you're not listening to what I'm saying. I want to see a van. Will you just show me a van? He goes, yeah, I don't know anything about them. Just go look at that one over there. I'll pop it open for you. And I'm like, this is why people come to us, and our people are trying to convince you out of everything else and trying to convince you into a van, and truly take the time to hear and listen to you. So that way you can find the van that fits what you want most. And I know we have it here. We have a lot of vans here, but our people aren't trying to direct you to anything certain. They are truly trying to find what you want and listen to you and talk to you and all that. So that is our goal, and then we do some cool stuff, Scott. And I know you've highlighted some of it for us, and I appreciate you doing that. But we do guaranteed service appointments within 5 days. We do free delivery all over the country. We do tech support. Anytime you have an issue, you call us and we help you through it. We are now in 2026. Actually, you're going to be the first place that I've announced any of this new stuff. 2026, we are going to be doing 24/7 tech support. So wow. We have hooked up with 24/7 tech support, and we're going to do free roadside assistance for the first year, where you have roadside assistance, mobile tech access for your first year, all that. We're going to include that for free with the purchase of any RV from us within the first year. And then, there's a lot of other cool things. I mean, I can go on and on, but really cool. I was going to announce all this in 26 because we're changing our Sunshine State Elite Club, and we're just adding stuff to it. So we're adding the 24/7 tech support. We're adding free flatbed delivery. Instead of driving it to you, we're going to flatbed deliver it to you. And then we're also adding that we're going to do 1 year of free roadside assistance. So we're adding those three things for 2026. And Scott, your audience is the first to hear about any of that cool stuff.
Should I keep it secret till 2026 or?
No, you can tell everybody.
And this is on top of the Harvest Host thing, your 2 nights of camping. Yep. And we've got a slide coming up talking about, again, the relationship of your dealer. And whether you're buying a Winnebago or certainly a Nuvo or a Storyteller, it's the same price on those two brands across the country. So you're really investing in the relationship with your dealer. And I think it's so important. In fact, Nick, look at this. Miss Chatter has a comment here. Can I adopt Sunshine State as my dealer service place, even though I didn't buy from you? She has a Chinook Bayside. Are you taking adoptions? Are you an adoption agency or what?
Well, how about we foster? We can do a foster relationship. I don't know if we can adopt, but we can foster. If you need help, we're happy to help. But yes.
That's funny.
Every year, because we sell 300, 400, 400 RVs a year, we're adding that many people to our family that we're making promises to. And so now, like last year, we added 360. This year, we're going to be about the 390. So we've actually increased our family this year. So all of those people, I'm making them big promises that my team knows that we have to back up the promises that we make. And so they have to get in service appointments, tech support, everything that they do. They got to make sure they can honor for everybody. And
part of that big commitment is a brand new facility that opens like Q1, late Q1. You guys have been working on that for a few minutes.
I was there up to 3 minutes prior to me and you getting on this. I was there meeting with the contractor, meeting with all of them, getting everything work. I mean, like every day I'm up there handling that as well. So lots of cool stuff here at Sunshine State RVs.
Yeah, no doubt. And here's a testimony, Nick. This is from Must Be Joking. That's pretty good. Thank you both for always sharing a ton of information. Nick, I showed up at your dealership 2 weeks ago. Your staff was a real pleasure to interact with. Highly recommend. And you probably know these guys. This is Bill and Joe, Travelers.
Yes,
they put you guys through the paces this year in their Winnebago Echo. So, well, let's talk about the and all this again leads to the Super Show, and whether you're going to the Super Show or an RV show in general. I think all of this applies, but Nick, just kind of tell us why the Super Show is so important and why most of the time new models are released here.
Yeah. So where else would you rather be in January? I mean, you live in Pennsylvania, wouldn't you rather be in Florida? I mean, it is the place to be in January. Everybody wants to be in Florida in January, and it is the biggest show in the country. So they're going to release all the new models for the year there. You're not allowed to bring any 2025s in that you're just trying to offload. They only allow brand new 2026s, and every manufacturer is releasing their best stuff. So like a lot of the vans that are even going to be there, I haven't even seen them yet. So like Scott said, today's December 22nd, and I haven't even gotten 20 or 30 of the vans that we're bringing, because they are finishing them right now, because they're new colors, they're new options, new floor plans. I mean, I know Coachman's releasing a new Coachman Pixel, and Nuvo is releasing some new stuff, and Midwest Vans is releasing a rear bath Sprinter with new colors and new options. And I mean, Road Trek is releasing a new Play Tough and a new Westphalia Wave for 2. Outside Vans is one of the new brands we're carrying. They are releasing a whole new line of overland vans, which is they're owned by Fox Racing, and we're going to have all of those there. I mean, there's some pretty amazing brands, some pretty amazing stuff that we're going to have at Tampa. And I would say it's not just us, but it's everybody. The Super Show is great if you want to go and find new models, new floor plans, new colors. And, you know, everyone always talks about the pricing. There is that too. This is a great time to have the dealer and the factory in the same room at the same time. And you can usually put them, you know, like if someone asks me for some help on something, I can usually go and I can get a little help from the manufacturer to help move a unit, or to help, you know, bridge that gap where sometimes if there's a trade-in, someone's upside down, there is some help that comes from the factory during shows sometimes. So there is that luxury, which is definitely helpful. So people think about pricing, you think about all the new stuff. You also think if you come here, you're only able to look at the vans that I have. But if you go to the show, you can look at the vans I have. You can look at the vans that every other dealer in Florida has in one spot. So then you make a decision. You can say, you can go straight from Sunshine to look at Coachman and go here, go there, and then you can decide, this is the one that I want. And then at the show, people leave deposits and they say, this is what I want. I want to place my order. I want to be first in line. I want to, and then you can usually get some good stuff done while you're there. So I strongly recommend people to go to the show, even if you're not ready, even if you're out. The show's a good time to start doing some reconnaissance and game planning for what you want.
Yeah, well said, sir. You're so good at this. It makes my job easy. A couple other tips I would leave for you is it's a giant show. There's acres and acres and acres. Wear comfortable shoes. Check the weather carefully. Nick, has it ever rained and been very cold and miserable at the Super Show?
So this past year on Sunday, thank God it was Sunday and not like the whole week. On Sunday it rained, and I'm sitting in the Westphalia, and I have some customers who have come back 3 days in a row. They finally decided on Sunday, okay, this is the one we want. And so they come back Sunday morning. I'm sitting in the Westphalia, and if you know the Westphalia, Scott, which I know you do, the front 2 seats swivel around, and there's like a little bench there. I'm sitting on the bench, and they're sitting in the driver's seat directly across from me. And we're sitting there, we're writing the deal up. I had Len in there. Len was sitting there helping them. We all came to a deal. All of a sudden, I see this huge umbrella flying through the way. It looked like I was in a Twister movie. I'm sitting like, oh my. Luckily, the customer did not see it, because that umbrella could have come right through the windshield. I mean, I'm talking, it was raining, umbrellas were flying, signs were going everywhere. And this lady, she was like, I am getting my Westphalia time, not leaving Tampa without my Westphalia. So I was like, you're determined, ma'am. You are determined. So she made it happen. I was worried for her life. I would not have used her as a barrier, Scott, to protect me. I would not have pushed her in front of the umbrella and have it impale her and not me. But I will say that she was blocking me from certain death.
That is pretty funny. Yeah. So it can be a little temperamental weather-wise in Tampa. So again, check the weather carefully, dress appropriately, definitely wear comfortable shoes, prepare to walk several miles. I think a single ticket gets you in for at least 2 days in a row, if not the entire show. I think it's 2 days. I don't know. Parking is always a challenge.
It is.
Any recommendation, Nick, on Super Show to go? If you can go earlier, the crowds are less.
That is true. Yep. Thursday or Friday is good. There's not all the crowd. Well, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's a 5-day show. So Wednesday and Thursday, the crowds are definitely lower. So that's good. Some people get hotels in the area and they stay. They kind of pace it out. Like I'm determined to see these 3 things, and they just kind of go. They go back to the hotel, have a good dinner, think about it, come back the next day, kind of look through it some more, make sure they remember everything. So I'd recommend that 2-day approach if you're going down there. Don't just leave yourself an hour. to go through it because you will never get through it in an
2
hour.
days.
You'll never.
You need 2
Yes.
days. It'll just
Yeah, I
be
would
frustrating.
say it's like a day or two would be good. And if you come to us and you see it and you want to get in the next day, also we have these little passes. We can get you in the next day. So just ask me or someone on our team for that, and they'll get you a little pass for the next day also. I don't know if one ticket buys you 2 days. I always get in free, Scott. I mean, it costs me a lot of money to put on that show.
I know, so you should get a free pass.
They let me in free. They're kind of nice.
So two tips on overnighting. One, unless the management has changed, do not stay at the La Quinta Inn across from the fairgrounds. That was put it this way, terrible experience for me last year because I paid a lot for a week at the hotel and I stayed in my van the entire week because there was.
Did you really?
Yeah, it was horrendous. And the second thing is check the overnight parking really carefully. They could continue to limit this, they being the fairgrounds, not so much the RV association, but the fairgrounds. So there's very limited on-site overnight camping, and it's pretty expensive from what I'm told. There's a lot of harvest hosts around. There's a few Cracker Barrels. So you can adjust your plans that way, but they kick everybody out of the general parking lot after the show closes, so you can't really stay in the parking lot unless you have the special.
We always put our team up at the AC Hotel by the airport. That seems to be 10 minutes away. It's a nice hotel right there by the airport.
Yeah. The La Quinta had no hot water for the entire week I was there. It was great. I showered my van for a whole week.
Oh my gosh.
It was crazy. Let me just show this quick. Nick, as you are, so we mentioned some of the brands you're going to be carrying. So there's a booth that you guys are working with Nuvo on. Is that correct?
Oh, that is going to be the bell of the ball. Is that how they say it?
That's how they say it, yeah.
That is going to be the bell of the ball. So we have a 10,000 square foot booth with Nuvo. All my French friends are going to be there. And it is going to be pretty impressive. They're going to have some great products there, some new products. They're going to have Rover with Peter from Rover's going to be there. They're going to have some really cool stuff.
The Frenchies are going to be there, right?
The Frenchies are going to be there, yes.
Bonjour. Yes. And Road Trek's going to be there. I was in their booth all of the entire week last year. I will be there only on Wednesday morning for a meet and greet meetup. I'm not sure which booth I'll be in, but it'll be a Sunshine booth. But you mentioned some new stuff coming from Road Trek, which is great. We love Road Trek. Yeah, no, Road Trek's great. Road Trek Westphalia, they're like sister companies, and they're going to be in the same booth this year. We're going to have 4 or 5 of each, which is going to be great. And they actually, both brands have some new products. So the Road Trek's going to have the new Play Tough Slumber, which is like an overland version to the Play model. Their Westphalia is also going to have the Wave for 2, because the traditional Wave, like I mentioned during my very dramatic story, it had the 2 seats and then the big bench behind it. The Wave for 2 doesn't have that. It just has more storage. It's more wide open. So they're going to have that there. They also have a brand new whole redesigned pop top. It's this big panoramic pop top, which is pretty awesome. So yeah, so Road Trek and Westphalia are both going to have some new stuff there, which is nice. And then we also have Coachman. So this is going to be a great display. We're going to have Coachman Nova, Coachman Pixel, and they have a brand new Pixel that they're releasing. It's never been released before, the Pixel 18, which is an 18-foot Coachman Pixel, which is a pretty awesome little van that is the size of Suburban. It's 18-foot, and it has full bathroom, kitchen, hookups, bed. I mean, everything you can imagine, lithium, everything, air conditioner, everything you can imagine in an 18-foot RV, which nobody is making something as high quality and as nice on an 18-foot RV in the market. Yes, I'm so excited to see that. And it's going to be great. That Nick, his last name just escaped me. Recchio, thank you. That's is great, and his whole team's amazing, and they work with Rover as well. So it's just a great trifecta, right? You mentioned quality, so let's just talk, Nick. As people are going through the other brands, maybe some you don't carry. I do have 2 more before we move on. So we're going to Midwest vans. So we have the Midwest Patriot and Midwest Heritage, and they have some new releases as well, floor plan wise, color wise, options and features. So that's going to be a big display. And then Outside Vans is our newest van we're carrying. It's an overland adventure van. They're owned by Fox Racing, Fox Performance, Fox Shocks, everyone's heard of.
So they're going to have some really cool off-road overland stuff that you've never seen before. They're releasing a 19-foot Sprinter van with 4 seats and a pop top. It can drive 4 and sleep 4, which is pretty amazing in a 19-foot van. They also have, they're going to have some real high-end suspension stuff there on the Sprinters, and they're going to have some there you can test drive. So everyone's like, oh, it looks cool, but how does it ride? Outside Vans is going to have some there that you can actually drive and experience for yourself. So that's pretty cool.
That is so great. And they are really a high-quality off-road rig. And
yes.
they're not really high volume, but they're not super custom one van a month. It's kind of in the middle, and they have a beautiful van we toured last year and did a video with, which kind of brings us to build quality. Maybe just kind of take a minute, Nick, and tell us what people should look for, not only in the dealer and the salespeople and the whole team there, but the actual product itself. What would define a good quality camper van versus one that's not the ones you sell, put it that way?
Yeah. So I obviously being the number 1 Class B dealer in Florida, number 2 in the nation, every manufacturer is asking us to sell their stuff, and the ones that we sell are the ones that we believe in, ones that we can truly get behind. I don't want to bog my service shop down with a bunch of junk. So, the ones we sell are really ones that I feel are the high quality. And what you're looking for is cabinetry. You're looking for the electronic system, the lithium. What brand of lithium are they using? Are they using a major name brand that has a good warranty that they'll stand behind? Are they giving you a good warranty? Is it, are there good Facebook groups that people aren't just sitting there complaining 24/7, or are people actually out enjoying it, having fun in it? Now, a lot of times the most negative people are the loudest people, so you got to kind of judge it with that. But I do think, quality wise, the other thing I would look at is if you can find a van that's 2 years old and half price, that means they're not holding their value very well. So, the ones that hold their value well are the highest quality ones. I think insulation, cabinetry, electronics, those are things that Coachman takes very serious, high quality. Those are things Midwest Van takes very serious, high quality. A lot of these vans they just kind of throw some junk in there, and you can tell that it's just not, just walking in it, you can look and see, saying, this thing's not really going to last. You spend a little extra money, you're going to get something that's going to last. It's going to hold its value. It's going to be something you're going to want. When you go to use it, it's going to be there ready for you to use. Everyone knows you don't use a van every day. But when you go to use it, you want to be able to use it for the intended purpose that it was for.
Well said. And look behind the cabinets, open the door, bring a flashlight, and kind of look at what their wiring looks like, what their plumbing looks like, and then check some of those brands that Sunshine carries, and you'll be like, oh, this looks pretty residential. I got 2 more topics, and we've got some questions here. Do you have another 8 minutes for us, Nick?
Yes, sir.
Said he was doing a deal, just like as he said, and working the construction site. You should have brought your hat on. All you need is Santa hat, but your construction hat. Okay, so a lot of folks show up to the Super Show, but any RV show, but Super Show, the upcoming Ocala show. What should they be prepared to do in terms of deposits? It just kind of walks through that process that a lot of people have a lot of questions. You can help relieve some of that stress in advance.
Yeah, so just if you want to find something, obviously no one actually buys anything there. People put deposits on RVs, and then they schedule their delivery for the following week or 2 weeks or a month, and they place an order. But be prepared. If you want financing, ask those questions. So you can be prepared for that. If you want to leave a deposit, typically a credit card's good. I would even say be prepared with a plan. Like, these are the 4 vans that I would like to see in person. And if one surprises you that you didn't know about, that's fine. Look at it, but just be prepared. Look at the map ahead of time. Maybe map out a little path on where you want to go. And then, and like Scott says, pick the dealer, not just the van, but the dealer you want to buy the van from. For instance, I never badmouth anybody, but there are vans that we sell that we do not carry to Tampa because of territory restrictions. A lot of times people will go to that display, look at those vans, and decide that's the van I want, but I want to buy it from Sunshine. So they come back to our display and they buy it from us, even though we don't have the van there. We don't sell Winnebagos in Tampa. We sold 2 or 3 Winnebagos last Tampa. we don't sell certain vans that we have here. We don't sell at Tampa because of territories, but people still come to us because they're how do I say this? They just don't want to buy an RV at Tampa because they're there. They want to make sure that they're picking the right dealer, they're picking the right terms, they're not getting ripped off with fees, that they're placing an order and they can actually be told when they're going to get it and lock a price in today, rather than some dealers, when you place an order, they don't lock the price in. The price is whatever it is when the RV comes in, that's the price they charge you, where we lock your price and you place your order today, that's the price you're paying today. We're not upping the price on you playing those games. So, it's not just about us, but I would be prepared with as much knowledge as possible, and have your short list ready. So that way, when you're there, you can sit in everyone and lay in everyone. Ask the manufacturer questions. The manufacturer, anytime you see a salesperson, say, hey, I appreciate what you're doing. I know you're working hard. Can you grab your manufacturer and we can go through this together? Because the manufacturer is going to be infinitely more knowledgeable than any salesperson. Even our salespeople. I mean, our salespeople specialize in this stuff, but every manufacturer's rep is much more knowledgeable about their product. So you walk into a display, my display or somebody else's, you can even ask them, say, hey, can you grab the manufacturer rep and we can all go through this together? Don't be rude to the salesperson because they're there working, trying to make a living for their family. But the manufacturer's rep is going to be more knowledgeable. So bring them in, ask your questions to the salesperson and the manufacturer's rep, get your questions answered, make your decision. And then you can sit down there. People sit with me and we sit there, we strike up a deal. We shake hands, we get a credit card deposit, and then we schedule something for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. We deliver it, we order it. So all that kind of happens right there at the show. So, don't be scared to negotiate and make a deal right there at the show.
Yeah. And then you can start 2026 off with a bang.
I'm ready.
Yeah. So it's so great. One thing I want to get, so let's say you bought your RV and you had it delivered from Sunshine last year. Now you've traveled a little bit and you want some additions, some mods, some upgrades. Yeah. Nick, kind of walk us through. So we're looking at a Nuvo here, I think, with the Rover Gear package, the box, the tire, ladder. How does that work? And are you guys doing this at your facility?
We are, yeah. So half of the service work we do are upgrades. So from Starlink to suspension to new wheels and tires, we do larger fuel tanks. We do the Rover ladder with the tire on it, the Rover box. Rover has a new roof rack now that they're putting on stuff. Bike racks. I mean, all of that. Sometimes when you buy an RV, you know what you want and you get it all in the beginning. Other times you buy an RV and you're like, oh, this is perfect. Then after having it for 3 months, you're like, I wish I had A, B, and C. So that's when you come to us and you say, this is what I want on it. And then, Jim, our modification specialist, he'll go through everything with you, give you prices, give you a time frame, order your stuff, and get it installed for you. So that is something that we're doing a lot of because we realize there's no perfect RV. But the RV you have, we can make it as perfect for you as possible. So that's kind of how we help with that.
So this is a trick question, tongue in cheek a little bit, but it's actually happened. Can you put a urinal in an Echo?
Yes. One time we've done it once. We'll do it once. Only for a good friend of mine, and that's it. Nobody else gets urinals in their Echoes.
Yeah, it's so funny. Oh my gosh.
Nobody else. Speaking of upgrades, real quick before we move on, I feel like an upgrade saved you a month of your life and saved you a lot of damage and potentially injury, right? When you got in an accident, someone rear-ended you, and that spare tire carrier absorbed everything, and it didn't damage your RV. It didn't jerk you too bad because it absorbed it, and it saved you thousands and thousands of dollars worth of body damage and all of that.
I've been in 2 van crashes now, and without a doubt, the Rover Gear saved my Travado 100%.
Yeah, so
I would have been.
It's not just upgrades.
Yeah,
not just upgrades that make them prettier, cooler, and more effective, but I mean they make a difference. Stuff like that can definitely save you a lot of heartache.
And I've run into 2 trees in with my Venture box, and it saved my bacon again. So
there you go.
That's not really the reason you want to do it, but
that's not the reason. But it's not.
But it is a definite reason. Yeah.
Yes.
Let me just flash this quick, Nick. I just want to alert people to my website. We got a lot of stuff coming up. Then we got just a couple questions that we want to show. But if you go to my website, GoSmallLiveLarge.com, we've got in 2026 meetups planned, convoys, campouts, Zooms, live streams like this, and special stuff for our Patreon insider crew and explorers. So hit my website up every now and again. That would be great. And we'll keep you posted on when we'll, which Sunshine State RVs booth will be at on Wednesday, the opening day of the show. Yes. Nick, I know he said 8 more minutes, but if you can just, here's Rolling Faith says, you serve lunch on Thursdays. Is that right?
So we do. So something we started a couple of years, I don't know, probably 3 or 4 years ago, when we made it to #1 in the state for top Class B RV dealership. I told the whole team, hey, good job. I appreciate you. For the whole next year, I'm going to do a big company lunch every Thursday for everyone as an award. And so every Thursday, we line up tables. Everybody, all the employees come, and we have a big company-wide lunch every single Thursday. And Tony's definitely been there for it, as so has BJ and Bill. I mean, a lot of our customers, if you're here for service on Thursday, there's a good chance you've either come and sat down and ate with us, or you've been brought food in from our lunch, and you get to eat some leftovers.
That's great. Yes. Here's a question from Blick. Would like to see a Winnebago Era produced again. Are they no longer making those, Winnebago?
They do not. No, they don't make them. Cool, I mean, yeah, it was a cool van. The Bolt, the Era, they stopped making both of those. I don't know why. Obviously, they just weren't selling a lot, because when they sell a lot, they don't stop making them. They make more. I thought it was a cool floor plan. You know, the Coachman Galleria does a lot with that. So does the Midwest Patriot. So both of those vans are, you know, a lot of the same, but they're not a Winnebago. So yeah, they don't make the Era anymore. It stinks.
And here's a good question from Deborah. And this kind of goes to maybe your fly and drive program. So I'm in Pennsylvania, would love to buy from Sunshine State RV. But first question asked by a dealer is, did you buy it from here? I am far away. So this kind of goes back to the service thing a little bit. So how do you kind of help a customer with that? It's an interesting question.
This is an everyday question, by the way. So that's why we do the tech support. That's why we're now enhancing it to 24/7 tech support. That's why we encourage everyone to join their Facebook groups for the brand and model that they have. So that way they can get help from everyone else that owns the van. And a lot of times those people are kind of techie to where they can help you with stuff. Something else cool. So in 2026, we're going to be offering the roadside assistance, like I mentioned a minute ago. Part of that roadside assistance is they have a program where they will help you get appointments at other service shops while you're traveling. So we already do this as kind of just a help to our customers. So you break down, you call us. We have a relationship with the RV shop in Baton Rouge. Tyson's a great guy. He's a good friend of mine. He owns a dealership. If you're there, I would call them and I would say, hey, I got a traveling customer. Can you help them? If you're in Houston, I would call SLS of Houston. They sell Midwest vans. I'd say, hey, so all throughout the country, we have relationships, and our manufacturers have relationships with dealers. And so we will call them and help you get service done. But our roadside assistance also has a service where they will call and they will assist you in scheduling appointments at outside dealerships. So that is part of getting service outside. And once you build a relationship with them, you know, usually once they service you one time, they will continue to do it over and over again. It's kind of the way we handle it here. If another dealership called me, we would definitely give service. But it's just like the whole family and the foster family and adopted family. We definitely have to set those appointments aside every day for our people who did buy from us, because they're the ones that put their initial trust in us, spent a lot of money, and then, you know, and we want to make sure that we show them we appreciate it.
Yeah, that's well said. Got 2 more questions. I don't know if this is directed at me, Nick, or you, but are you going to be at Peace, Love, and Vans in March? I am going. I'm pretty excited about that. You guys were there a few years ago.
We were.
But Sunshine not there this year, right?
It is not. No, we're not. It is the same weekend as our Ocala RV shows. So we're going to be doing the Ocala RV show. We're going to be doing the Coachman Roundup. We do not have enough staff to be divided between Peace, Love, and Vans and the Ocala RV show. So we will be in Ocala.
And you only have one Bethany to help out with everything, right?
We only have one Bethany. Yes, one Nick, one of a lot. So no, we're not going to be there this year, unfortunately. If they change the dates, I'd love to go. It's a great event.
Well, Nick, just thank you so much for helping us out. I know it's just a few days before Christmas Eve, I think you said.
Eve, yes,
so
Eve.
You're probably wrapping things up, and you probably have presents to wrap, as do many of you watching.
4 kids, and yeah, they're 21 and 19 years old. They don't need presents anymore. Those days are gone. I don't know why my wife feels like we have to buy them presents.
Just take them on a cruise.
Exactly. We did a Disney cruise a couple of years ago for Christmas. That was fun.
That was fun. It is fun doing holidays on cruise ships. Halloween and other New Year's is a blast. Oh my gosh. Well, Nick, thank you for your time today. Again, I know you carved out special time for us, and we took more than I expected, which is always great. You have a lot of super expert advice. You said buy the kids an RV.
Oh, no, I'm gonna send them in one and let them just go RV. I'll see you in a year.
Yeah, right. Check in. It's called FaceTime.
Exactly.
Nick, Merry Christmas. We'll talk very soon, and we'll see you next month.
Scott, thank you, sir. I appreciate you and everyone watching. Yeah. Scott is a great dude. Please continue to support him. Watch his channel. He really does this to help you guys. He is not getting any financial support. He's not getting paid for this. He is doing it as a service to you. So trust what this guy says. He's good. He's good.
God love you. It's true. Journey on, folks. Have a Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. We are doing some stuff right around New Year. So again, go to my website, Go Small, Live Large. We have 2 live streams, New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. So if you're bored with your family, you can come hang out with me for a little bit. Peace be with you. Merry Christmas. Thanks, Nick.